First contact. The titanium hull of the UAS Horizon gleamed in the pale light of the alien sun as it descended through wisps of lavender clouds. Captain Elena Rodriguez stood on the bridge, her dark eyes fixed on the swirling atmosphere of planet LV-742. After months of travel through the cold vacuum of space, they were about to become the first humans to set foot on this distant world. Atmospheric composition analysis complete, Captain, reported Science Officer Dr. Amit Patel, his fingers dancing across the holographic display. Breathable, but only just. We'll need filtration masks for extended exposure. Elena nodded, a small smile tugging at the corner of her mouth. Noted, Dr. Patel. Ensign Chen, take us down. As the ship broke through the cloud cover, a landscape of purple plains and towering crystalline formations came into view. But it wasn't the alien terrain that caught Elena's attention. There, nestled in a valley between two glittering spires, lay the unmistakable form of a spacecraft, and it wasn't human. "My God," whispered Lieutenant Commander Jack Morrison, the ship's security chief. "Is that what I think it is?" Elena leaned forward, her heart racing. "It appears we're not the first visitors to this planet after all. Dr. Patel, any life signs?" Amit's fingers flew over the controls, his brow furrowed in concentration. "I'm detecting one faint biosignature, Captain. It's weak and fluctuating, but it's there." "Looks like the ship's been there a while," Jack observed, zooming in on the image. "Heavy damage to the hull. Whoever's in there might not have long." Elena straightened, her decision made in an instant. "Prep for immediate landing and assemble an away team. We're going out there." Within minutes, Elena found herself leading a small team across the alien landscape. The purple grass crunched beneath their boots, releasing a scent reminiscent of lavender and ozone. Dr. Patel moved ahead, his scanner sweeping the air, while Jack brought up the rear, pulse rifle at the ready. As they approached the downed ship, its sleek design became apparent. The craft was unlike anything in human records, all smooth curves and iridescent surfaces that seemed to shimmer and shift in the alien sunlight. "The material composition is extraordinary," Amit murmured, running his scanner over the hull. "I've never seen anything like it. The molecular structure is—" "Save it for later, Doc," Jack interrupted, gesturing towards a gaping hole in the side of the ship. "We've got bigger concerns. That's our way in." Elena nodded, activating her comms. "Rodriguez to Horizon. We've reached the alien vessel and are preparing to enter. Maintain constant communication and be ready for emergency extraction." "Understood, Captain," came the reply. "Be careful in there." The interior of the ship was a maze of twisted metal and pulsing bioluminescent conduits. Strange symbols adorned the walls, shifting and changing as if alive. The air was thick with an acrid smell that made Elena's eyes water behind her filtration mask. "Life sign is getting stronger," Amit reported, his voice hushed, just ahead. They rounded a corner and froze. There, sprawled across what appeared to be a control console, was a figure. It was humanoid in shape, but that's where the similarities ended. Its skin was a pale, almost translucent blue, crisscrossed with intricate patterns that glowed faintly. Long, delicate fingers ended in sharp points, and a crest of feather-like appendages adorned its head. "Is it alive?" Jack whispered, his rifle half raised. As if in answer, the alien's eyes snapped open, 3 of them, arranged in a triangle on its face. They were a deep, swirling purple, and as they focused on the humans, a look of unmistakable fear flashed across the alien's features. Elena held up her hands in what she hoped was a universal gesture of peace. "We're here to help," she said softly, knowing the alien couldn't understand her words, but hoping her tone would convey her intent. The alien's mouth opened, revealing rows of small, sharp teeth. A series of clicks and whistles emerged, rising in pitch and urgency. It tried to push itself up, but collapsed back onto the console with a pained chirp. "It's injured," Amit said, moving forward with his medical scanner. Several deep lacerations, internal bleeding, and something else I can't quite identify. The alien's eyes darted between them, its chest rising and falling rapidly. One hand reached out, trembling, towards Elena. In that moment, staring into those alien eyes, Elena felt the weight of history on her shoulders. This wasn't just first contact, it was first rescue. The fate of future human-alien relations might well hinge on what they did next. We need to get it back to the horizon, she decided. Our medical bay is better equipped than anything we have here. Jack frowned. Captain, with all due respect, we have no idea what we're dealing with. The potential risks are outweighed by our duty, Elena finished firmly. We're taking it with us, that's an order. As they carefully lifted the alien, its skin felt cool and slightly damp against Elena's gloves. The creature let out a series of soft trills that might have been words or simply sounds of pain. Easy, Elena murmured, not knowing if the alien could understand, but feeling compelled to offer comfort. We've got you. You're going to be okay. As they made their way back across the purple plains, the alien cradled carefully between them. Elena couldn't shake the feeling that everything was about to change. Humanity had dreamed of this moment for centuries, first contact with an alien species, but no one had ever imagined it quite like this. The journey back to the horizon was tense, each step careful to avoid jostling their fragile cargo. The alien drifted in and out of consciousness, its eyes flickering open occasionally to stare at the humans with a mix of fear and wonder. As they approached the ship, Elena could see the rest of the crew gathered at the airlock, their faces a mix of excitement and apprehension. She took a deep breath, steeling herself for what was to come. "Let's make history," she said quietly, more to herself than to her team. Then, raising her voice, she called out to the waiting crew. "Prepare sickbay immediately. We have a patient and a lot of work to do." The airlock hissed open, and as they stepped inside with their alien passenger, Elena knew that nothing would ever be the same again. The universe had just become a much bigger, much more complex place, and humanity was about to take its first steps into a new era of interstellar relations. Quantum empathy. The sterile white walls of the horizon's medical bay pulsed with an eerie blue glow, emanating from the stasis pod where their alien guest lay suspended. Dr. Leonard Okafor, the ship's chief medical officer, frowned at the holographic readouts floating above the pod. "I've never seen anything like this," she murmured, her dark fingers tracing patterns in the air as she manipulated the display. "Its cellular structure is impossible. It's like looking at a living quantum computer." Captain Elena Rodriguez stood at her side, arms crossed, brow furrowed. "Can you help it?" Lena sighed, running a hand through her short-cropped hair. "I'm not even sure what help means in this context, Captain. Its biology is so fundamentally different from ours that half our treatments could kill it, and the other half might do nothing at all." A soft chime interrupted them, and the pod's opaque surface cleared, revealing the alien within. Its 3 eyes were open now, swirling with patterns of deep purple and gold. As it focused on the humans, a series of melodic trills filled the air. "It's trying to communicate," Elena realized. She stepped closer, placing a hand on the pod's surface. "We need a way to understand each other." As if in response to her words, the alien's skin began to glow. Intricate patterns of light danced across its blue flesh, forming shapes and symbols that shifted and changed with dizzying speed. Lena gasped. "Captain, look at the neural activity readings." The holographic display above the pod was going haywire, streams of data flowing faster than the eye could follow. Suddenly, Elena felt a strange pressure in her mind, like the onset of a headache, but different, more purposeful. "I think it's," she began, but the words died in her throat as a flood of images and sensations washed over her. Flashes of an alien world, crystal spires reaching towards triple moons, the hum of advanced technology beyond human comprehension, a desperate flight from an unseen enemy, crash, pain, fear, hope. Elena staggered back, her mind reeling from the onslaught. "It showed me," she whispered. "Its home, its journey. I saw it all." Lena steadied her, concern etched on her face. "Captain, your neural patterns are off the charts. Whatever just happened, it wasn't just a simple transfer of information. It was deeper." Before Elena could respond, alarms blared throughout the ship. Jack's voice crackled over the comm system, tight with tension. "Captain, to the bridge immediately. We've got company." Elena cast one last look at the alien, its eyes now fixed on her with an intensity that sent shivers down her spine. "Keep working on helping it, Doctor. I have a feeling we're going to need our new friends sooner rather than later." As Elena raced to the bridge, her mind was a whirlwind of alien thoughts and memories. The neural link, or whatever it had been, had left her with more than just images. She could feel echoes of the alien's emotions, its hopes and fears resonating within her own psyche. The bridge was a flurry of activity when she arrived. Jack stood at tactical, his face grim as he manipulated the holographic display. "Report," Elena barked, sliding into the captain's chair. "Unidentified vessel just dropped out of FTL on the far side of the planet," Jack answered. "Configuration matches nothing in our database, but—" He hesitated, glancing at Elena. "It's similar to our guest ship, only much, much bigger." Elena felt a chill run down her spine. In her mind's eye, she saw flashes of the enemy the alien had fled from. "They've come to finish the job," she murmured. "Captain." Ensign Chen looked at her, confusion evident on his young face. Elena shook her head, trying to clear the alien thoughts. "Never mind. Options." "We're outgunned and outclassed," Jack said bluntly. "That ship's got enough firepower to turn us into cosmic dust. Running's our best bet, but even then—" "No," Elena said, surprising herself with the vehemence in her voice. "We're not abandoning our guest. There has to be another way." As if summoned by her words, the alien's trilling voice echoed through the ship's comm system. On the main view screen, symbols and diagrams began to appear, flowing and shifting in complex patterns. "It's accessed our systems somehow," Amit reported, his fingers flying over his console. "But it's not an attack, it's schematics, engineering designs." Elena stood, moving closer to the screen. As she watched the flowing symbols, understanding bloomed in her mind. A gift from the neural link. "It's showing us how to modify our shields," she realized, "to create a quantum camouflage." Emmett's eyes widened as he analyzed the data. "This is incredible, Captain. If I'm reading this correctly, it will allow us to phase slightly out of sync with normal space-time. We'd be virtually undetectable." "Can we do it?" Elena asked, hope rising in her chest. Amit hesitated. "Maybe, but we'd need to reconfigure the entire power grid. And even then, one mistake, and we could end up scattered across multiple dimensions." Elena felt the weight of command settle on her shoulders. It was a desperate gamble, but the alternative was unthinkable. She thought of the alien in sick bay, of the trust it had placed in them by sharing its knowledge. "Do it," she ordered. "All hands, prepare for emergency shield modifications. We've got one shot at this, people. Let's make it count." As the crew scrambled to implement the alien's designs, Elena returned to sick bay. The alien was sitting up now, its 3 eyes fixed on her with an intensity that took her breath away. "Thank you," she said softly, knowing it could understand her intent if not her words. "We'll do everything we can to save you." The alien trilled softly, reaching out one long-fingered hand. Elena took it without hesitation, gasping as another flood of images and emotions washed over her. But this time, among the fear and desperation, she felt something else. Something warm and bright and unmistakable. Hope. As alarms blared and the ship shuddered under the strain of its transformation, Elena held tight to that feeling. Whatever happened next, they were in it together, human and alien united against the vastness of space and the dangers it held. The horizon trembled, its very atoms sinning with power as the quantum camouflage engaged. On the bridge, The crew watched with bated breath as the massive enemy ship drew near, its weapons primed and ready. For a moment that stretched into eternity, the universe held its breath. Then, miraculously, the enemy ship passed them by, its sensors blind to the horizon's quantum-shifted form. As sighs of relief and disbelieving laughter filled the bridge, Elena felt a surge of triumph and something more, a sense of possibilities unfurling before them, of a future where the stars themselves were no longer the limit. The adventure was only just beginning. Symbiotic revolution. The horizon drifted through the quantum foam of subspace, its hull shimmering with otherworldly energies. In the ship's makeshift xenobiology lab, Captain Elena Rodriguez stood before a holographic display, watching in awe as the alien's DNA twisted and spiraled in impossible patterns. "It's not just advanced," Dr. Lena Okafor breathed, her eyes wide with wonder. "It's evolving, right before our eyes." The alien, whom the crew had taken to calling Nova, due to the star-like patterns that danced across its skin, trilled softly from its biopod. Its 3 eyes, now a swirling mix of deep purple and electric blue, fixed on Elena with an intensity that made her skin tingle. "The neural link is getting stronger," Elena murmured, absently rubbing her temple. "I can feel its thoughts, its emotions. It's trying to tell us something." Suddenly, the holographic display exploded with new information. Strands of DNA began to intertwine with complex mathematical equations and what looked like star charts. "My God," Lena gasped. "It's not just showing us its biology. It's offering to share it." Elena felt a jolt of understanding through the neural link. Not just share, she realized, her voice filled with awe. Merge. It wants to create a human-alien hybrid. The implications were staggering. A fusion of human ingenuity and alien biotechnology could revolutionize everything: medicine, space travel, the very nature of human existence. "Captain," Lena said, her voice tight with excitement and fear, "if we do this, there's no going back. We'd be changing the course of human evolution." Elena stared at Nova, feeling the weight of the decision pressing down on her. Through the link, she sensed the alien's urgency, its belief that this symbiosis was the key to surviving the threats that lurked in the depths of space. "Humanity has always dreamed of reaching the stars," Elena said softly. "Maybe this is how we do it, not by conquering space, but by becoming a part of it." She took a deep breath, squaring her shoulders. "Prepare for the procedure, Doctor. I'll be the first volunteer." Hours later, Elena lay in a biopod of her own, her body tingling with anticipation and fear. Nova floated in the pod next to her, its skin pulsing with bioluminescent patterns that seemed to reach out towards her. Beginning DNA fusion sequence, Lena's voice came through the speakers, tense with concentration. "Captain, are you absolutely sure about this?" Elena looked at Nova, feeling a wave of trust and shared purpose flow through their link. "I've never been more sure of anything in my life," she replied. "Do it." A rush of energy flooded Elena's body, every cell singing with newfound power. She gasped as her consciousness expanded, touching the edges of the universe itself. Memories that weren't her own flashed through her mind: ancient alien civilizations, cosmic wonders beyond human imagination, and terrible dangers lurking in the void between stars. When the process was complete, Elena emerged from the pod transformed. Her skin shimmered with faint bioluminescent patterns, and her eyes swirled with galaxies. But the physical changes were nothing compared to the revolution happening in her mind. "I can see it all," she whispered, her voice resonating with newfound harmonics. "The quantum threads that bind the universe together, the songs of distant stars. We've unlocked the secrets of creation itself." Nova emerged from its own pod, its form now a perfect blend of human and alien characteristics. It reached out to Elena, and as their hands touched, a surge of shared consciousness flowed between them. "We are one," Nova spoke, its voice a melody of trills and human speech. "And we are many, the first of a new species, born of two worlds but belonging to the stars themselves. As word of the transformation spread through the ship, the crew was divided. Some were eager to undergo the process themselves, seeing it as the next step in human evolution. Others were afraid, viewing it as a loss of their humanity. "We're not losing anything," Elena assured them, her new senses allowing her to feel the fears and hopes of every crew member. "We're gaining the universe." One by one, volunteers stepped forward. With each transformation, the horizon itself began to change, the ship's systems integrating with the new hybrid biology of its crew. Walls became living membranes, pulsing with energy. The engine core transformed into a miniature star, fueled by the power of thought itself. As the last of the volunteers emerged from their pods, forever changed, Elena stood on the bridge, now an organic cathedral of pulsing light and living technology. She gazed out at the star-studded void, feeling the pull of infinite possibilities. "We've transcended the limits of our former selves," she announced, her voice carrying through the ship on waves of thought. "But our mission remains the same: to explore, to discover, to forge connections across the cosmos." Nova stood beside her, their minds intertwined in a dance of shared purpose. "The universe awaits," it trilled, the sound harmonizing with the hum of the living ship. Elena nodded, a smile playing across her luminescent features. "Crew of the horizon, no, children of the stars, let's show the cosmos what we've become." With a thought, the ship surged forward, slipping between the folds of space-time as easily as a fish through water. The transformed horizon streaked across the galaxy, leaving a trail of stardust and wonder in its wake. As they journeyed into the unknown, Elena felt a sense of purpose unlike anything she'd ever known. They were no longer just explorers. They were the bridge between worlds, the heralds of a new age of cosmic harmony. The adventure that had begun with a chance encounter on a distant planet had become something far greater. It was the dawn of a new era for humanity, an era of infinite possibilities written in the very stars themselves. And as the horizon sailed on into the cosmic ocean, its hybrid crew knew that this was only the beginning. The universe, in all its vast and terrible beauty, was waiting to be embraced. Cosmic harmony's discord. The transformed horizon sailed through the cosmic tapestry, its living hull pulsing with the combined consciousness of its hybrid crew. Captain Elena Rodriguez, her eyes now swirling galaxies, stood at the helm, her mind intertwined with the ship's systems. New signal detected, Nova trilled, its harmonious voice resonating through the organic bridge. A distress call from the edge of known space. Elena's brow furrowed, causing ripples of bioluminescence to dance across her skin. "Let's hear it." The message played, not through speakers, but directly into the minds of the crew. It was a cacophony of alien thoughts, fear and desperation bleeding through every syllable. "They're under attack," Elena realized, images of a massive crystalline entity flashing through her mind. "By something ancient, hungry." First Officer Jack Morrison, his once human form now a sculpted masterpiece of hybrid biology, stepped forward. "Captain, we're still learning to control our new abilities. Rushing into an unknown conflict could be disastrous." Elena felt the crew's unease ripple through the ship's living systems. They were right to be cautious. Their transformation had given them godlike power, but wielding it was still new, still uncertain. "We can't ignore a cry for help," Elena said firmly. "Our humanity may have evolved, but our values remain. Set a course for the source of the distress call." The horizon responded instantly, slipping between dimensions with fluid grace. As they neared their destination, a terrible sight greeted them. A massive crystalline entity, kilometers in size, loomed over a small planet. Tendrils of pure energy lashed out, draining the world of its resources and life force. "By the cosmos," Nova whispered, its three eyes wide with recognition. "It's a nexus devourer, a living singularity that consumes entire civilizations to fuel its eternal hunger." Elena felt a chill run through her enhanced body. "Can we stop it?" Nova's skin pulsed with uncertain patterns. In theory, our combined power could match it. But the risk. Before Nova could finish, a lance of pure energy shot from the Nexus Devourer, striking the horizon. The ship shuddered, its living systems screaming in pain. "It knows we're here," Jack growled, his hands morphing into organic weapon arrays. So much for the element of surprise. Elena's mind raced, formulating strategies at speeds her old human brain could never have managed. "We need to coordinate our attacks. Everyone, link your consciousness to mine. We'll strike as one." The crew complied, their minds merging into a collective consciousness that rivaled the power of a small star. Energy crackled around the horizon as they prepared to engage the cosmic horror before them. What followed was a battle unlike any in human history. The horizon danced through space-time, its hybrid crew unleashing barrages of quantum energy and rewriting the fabric of reality itself. The Nexus Devourer responded in kind, its crystalline form shifting and adapting to each attack. But as the battle raged on, Elena sensed something was wrong. The deeper they dove into their newfound powers, the more she felt an alien presence growing within their shared consciousness. It was Nova's influence, but twisted, amplified by the stress of combat. "Captain," Ensign Chen's panicked voice cut through the mental link. I can't control it." To her horror, Elena watched as Chen's form began to mutate uncontrollably, his human features warping into something monstrous and alien. One by one, other crew members began to lose control, their hybrid forms rebelling against them. "It's the Devourer," Nova realized, its voice strained. "Its presence is destabilizing our fusion. We're unraveling." Elena felt it too, a terrible hunger growing within her, threatening to consume everything she was. She grit her teeth, fighting against the alien instincts that clawed at her mind. "Focus," she commanded, pushing every ounce of her willpower through the mental link. "Remember who we are, what we stand for. We are not just power, we are hope." Her words resonated through the crew, a lifeline of humanity in the chaos of their transformation. Slowly, painfully, they reasserted control over their hybrid forms. But the battle had taken its toll. The horizon hung in space, battered and weakened. The Nexus Devourer loomed before them, seemingly unstoppable. It was then that Elena had a terrible, wonderful idea. "Nova," she said, her voice heavy with the weight of command. "You said the Devourer consumes civilizations. What if we gave it one it couldn't handle?" Understanding dawned in Nova's swirling eyes. "Our combined consciousness, it might be enough to overload its systems." "But Captain," Jack protested, "that would mean sacrificing ourselves, everything we've become." Elena looked at her crew, human and alien, transformed and struggling, but still united in purpose. "Sometimes," she said softly, "the most human thing we can do is sacrifice ourselves for others." The decision made, the crew of the Horizon linked minds one final time. They poured every memory, every hope, every scrap of their hybrid existence into a singular point of cosmic energy. With a thought, Elena launched their combined essence directly into the heart of the Nexus Devourer. The result was cataclysmic. The Devourer arrived in space, overwhelmed by the sheer complexity and power of the hybrid consciousness it had absorbed. Cracks appeared in its crystalline surface, light pouring from within. And then, in a flash brighter than a supernova, the Nexus Devourer shattered. In the silence that followed, the horizon drifted, its crew returned to their original human forms. The hybrid transformation was gone, burned away in the fire of their sacrifice. Elena stood on the bridge, staring at her now normal hands. She felt smaller, diminished, but also, strangely, more herself than she had in weeks. "Did we succeed?" Lena asked, her voice hoarse. A beat from the communications console answered her question. It was a message from the planet they had saved, a symphony of alien gratitude that needed no translation. "We did," Elena said, a tired smile crossing her face. "We saved them." not with godlike power, but with human heart. As the crew of the Horizon contemplated their victory and loss, a faint trill caught their attention. There, in a corner of the bridge, lay Nova, returned to its original alien form, weakened but alive. Its three eyes met Elena's, and a flash of shared understanding passed between them. They had touched a face of cosmic godhood and turned away, choosing instead the beautiful, messy complexity of their individual selves. "Where do we go from here?" Jack asked, voicing the question on everyone's mind. Elena looked out at the star-studded expanse before them, feeling a familiar sense of wonder and possibility. "We go forward," she said simply. "We explore, we learn, we grow. Not as gods, but as ourselves. That's the true human adventure." As the Horizon's engines hummed to life, Elena felt a renewed sense of purpose. They had faced the ultimate temptation of power and chosen humanity instead. Whatever challenges lay ahead, she knew they would face them together, not as hybrids or superbeings, but as the flawed, beautiful, endlessly surprising creatures they had always been. The stars beckoned, and humanity answered, older, wiser, but still burning with the unquenchable fire of exploration and hope. Echoes of transformation. The Horizon glided through the cosmic void, its hull bearing the scars of its incredible journey. Captain Elena Rodriguez stood on the bridge, her once swirling eyes now a deep, thoughtful brown. The crew bustled around her, their movements a dance of efficient humanity, tinged with an otherworldly grace, a lingering echo of their hybrid transformation. "Captain," Ensign Chen called out, his voice trembling with excitement. "We're picking up a signal. It's from Earth." A hush fell over the bridge. They had been gone for what felt like lifetimes, changed in ways their home could never understand. Elena took a deep breath, steadying herself. "On screen," she commanded. The view screen flickered to life, revealing the face of Admiral Yuki Tanaka, her expression a mix of relief and concern. "Horizon, this is Earth Command. We've been searching for you for months. What happened out there?" Elena exchanged glances with her crew, a silent understanding passing between them. How could they possibly explain? "Admiral," Elena began, choosing her words carefully. "We've made first contact with an advanced alien species. We've seen wonders beyond imagination and faced horrors that defy description. We've been changed, Admiral. All of us." The Admiral's brow furrowed. "Changed? How?" Before Elena could respond, alarms blared throughout the ship. Jack's hands flew over his console, his eyes wide. "Captain, we're detecting massive energy fluctuations. It's like reality itself is unraveling around us." The view screen crackled with static, Admiral Tanaka's face distorting. "Horizon, what's happening? We're losing your signal." Elena felt a familiar tingle at the base of her skull, a remnant of the neural link she had shared with Nova. She gasped as understanding flooded her mind. "It's not unraveling," she breathed. "It's remembering." The bridge erupted in chaos as swirling vortexes of energy appeared, enveloping each crew member. Elena watched in awe as her own hands began to shimmer, bioluminescent patterns dancing across her skin. "Our hybrid forms," Lena exclaimed, her body elongating, taking on alien characteristics. "They're coming back." But this was different from before. Elena could feel the change, not as an overwhelming force, but as a natural extension of herself, human and alien, perfectly balanced. Nova, who had been quietly observing from a corner of the bridge, trilled with joy. Its three eyes gleamed with understanding. "The universe has not forgotten," it sang, its voice a melody of cosmic harmonies. "We touched the face of creation, and it touched us back. We are forever changed, not by force, but by choice." As the transformation swept through the ship, the horizon itself began to change. Walls became living membranes once more, but now they pulsed with a warmth that felt unmistakably human. The engine core hummed with the power of a caged star, fueled by the perfect fusion of human ingenuity and alien biotechnology. Elena looked at her crew, marveling at their new forms. Each was unique, a perfect blend of their human selves and the cosmic potential they had touched. "Captain," Jack said, his voice resonating with newfound harmonics, "what do we tell Earth?" Elena turned back to the view screen, where Admiral Tanaka watched in stunned silence. She smiled, feeling the weight of cosmic understanding settle upon her shoulders. "Admiral," she said, her voice carrying the melody of distant stars, "prepare Earth for a new age. We are no longer just humans reaching for the stars. We have become the bridge between worlds." As if in response to her words, the space around the horizon began to shimmer. Portals opened, revealing glimpses of distant worlds, alternate realities, and dimensions beyond human comprehension. "The universe is calling," Nova trilled, moving to stand beside Elena. "It seeks balance, understanding, unity. We are the key." Elena nodded, feeling the truth of it in every fiber of her transformed being. She turned to her crew, seeing the same resolve reflected in their alien human eyes. "Horizon," she commanded, her voice ringing with the authority of a cosmic guardian, "let's answer that call." With a thought, the ship surged forward, slipping between the folds of reality. But this time, they left a trail behind, a shimmering pathway bridging Earth to the infinite cosmos. As they journeyed into the unknown, Elena felt the weight of their new purpose. They were no longer just explorers or diplomats. They had become guardians of cosmic harmony, teachers of universal understanding, and living bridges between the infinite strands of reality. The adventure that had begun with a chance encounter on a distant planet had blossomed into something far greater. It was the dawn of a new era for humanity, an era where the boundaries between species, between dimensions, and between possibilities had been forever transformed. And as the horizon sailed on, its hybrid crews stood ready to face whatever wonders and challenges awaited. For they were no longer just human, no longer just alien. They were the children of the cosmos itself, born of stardust and dreams, ready to write the next chapter in the grand story of existence. The universe, in all its infinite complexity, awaited their touch. And humanity, transformed and reborn, was finally ready to embrace its cosmic destiny.